The desire, the throne, and blood. Egypt was not a kingdom. It was an ancient body, a tired body, marked by old scars, accustomed to being touched, used, possessed by those who claimed to rule it. The Nile was its slow pulse, the temples its accumulated memory. Dynasties were little more than fevers, passing across a skin that had already seen too much. Cleopatra was born within that body, not as a miracle, not as an exception, but as flesh fully aware of where it stood. From a very young age, she understood something uncomfortable. Power is not inherited cleanly. It is brushed against, negotiated, imposed through presence. She learned early that rooms change temperature when certain bodies enter them, that silence often obeys before words do. When her father died, the throne was not empty. It was available. Cleopatra was declared queen alongside her brother, Ptolemy the 13th, a boy. A name. A body useful to others. She spoke, signed decrees, appeared. Her image began to circulate on its own, too much on its own. That is not forgiven. They pushed her aside slowly, first from the center, then from the voice, finally from the palace. The expulsion was not violent. It was cold. Like removing someone whose gaze unsettles. The desert did not break her. It sharpened her. There, far from the perfume of Alexandria, Cleopatra learned to measure men by the way their breathing changed when money changed hands. She learned that loyalty lasts only as long as necessity, that armed bodies respond better to control than to promises. She became more precise, harder inside, more aware of her own effect. Meanwhile, Egypt weakened. Rome watched. The way one watches a body not yet touched, but already felt as one's own. When Julius Caesar arrived, he was not seeking exoticism. He sought stability, a territory that would stop bleeding Rome dry. Cleopatra did not present herself as a dethroned queen. She presented herself as an inevitable presence. She did not enter walking. She did not ask permission. She appeared, wrapped, contained, unfolding before Caesar the way something living unfolds. Cleopatra held his gaze without lowering her head. It was not submission. It was measured defiance. The kind of closeness that unsettles because it cannot be read as threat or invitation. Caesar understood quickly. This woman was not asking for power. She knew how to use it. The Civil War was short dirty. There was no epic, only calculation. In the midst of the chaos, her brother, the young king, attempted to flee. The Nile, heavy and swollen, received him with the weight he carried. The armor dragged him down. The body never ruled again. Some spoke of an accident. Others remained silent. Cleopatra explained nothing. She did not need to. She returned to the throne with her back straight and her memory sharp. She knew exactly what falling cost and what rising demanded. She ruled with a dangerous mixture of calm and warning. She fed the people, satisfied Rome, and made it clear that access to her, political or symbolic, came at a price. She married another brother, a formality, a body without will. Egypt breathed again. Rome collected. Cleopatra observed. When Caesar fell in Rome, there was no mourning, only silence. Mark Antony arrived burdened with excess, confidence, poorly disguised desire. Cleopatra received him without haste, knowing that some men are best dominated when they believe they are advancing. There was no innocence between them. There was friction. There was an alliance sustained by attraction, ambition, and risk. Cleopatra made herself more visible, more sensual, more dangerous. Not because she believed in disguises, but because she understood something essential. Power is also exercised through the body. Isis was not a myth. She was a message. Rome reacted as it always does, with fear disguised as morality. Octavian turned Cleopatra into a threat, a corrupting body, a woman who disrupts order. War arrived the way inevitable things arrive. At Actium, the sea was impartial. Defeat was not cowardice. It was someone else's strategy. Antony broke. Cleopatra did not. Surrounded by symbols, perfumes, and poisons, she understood there would be no dignified exit within the Roman narrative. Cleopatra chose not to be used once more. The exact manner is lost. Serpent, poison, mixture. What remains clear is the decision, the final act of control over her own body. With her died more than a queen. The last living tension of Egypt died. Cleopatra was not a saint. She was not a victim. She was not a clean myth. She was a woman shaped by a world where power is touched, measured, and scented. Where desire is just another tool, and morality, a later narrative. Egypt was an ancient body. Cleopatra was among the last to hear it breathe. And when that body fell, Rome inherited the form, but not the essence that sustained it from within.